Okay, so you know those stories that sound totally made up? Like straight from a thriller movie. Intricate plots, big
Oh,
twists.
yeah, absolutely. Where the setting itself seems, well, completely wrong for the drama unfolding.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. We're heading to Thrissur in Kerala. You picture the serene backwaters, right?
Mm-hmm. Beautiful place.
But it's become the unlikely stage for a real-life financial thriller.
It really has. Imagine, like, your typical local bank, the kind generations have used, suddenly it's ground zero for this massive scandal.
Yeah, we're talking hidden fortunes, allegations reaching right up to the leadership of a major political party. It's a lot.
It's deeply unsettling, especially for the ordinary people caught up in it all.
And that's why we're here. You sent over a ton of info on this Karuvannur Cooperative Bank scam. And, well, our mission today is to unpack it.
Try and make sense of it.
Yeah, figure out what allegedly happened, how they supposedly did it, and crucially, why it's caused such shockwaves, not just locally, but way beyond.
Yeah. We've waded through the reports, the legal documents, trying to piece together the crucial bits of this really complex and, frankly, almost unbelievable story.
Okay, so let's set the scene a bit. We're talking about the Karuvannur Service Cooperative Bank in Thrissur, not some huge faceless corporation.
Right. These cooperative banks are meant to be pillars of the community, serving local farmers, small depositors, the people right there.
They're woven into the fabric of the place, meant to be the financial backbone for many.
Precisely. Built on trust. And it's within that trusted environment that this alleged fraud apparently took root, starting around, 2010?
Seems like it. So fast forward a bit, the Enforcement Directorate, the ED, gets involved.
And that's when things really escalate.
Yeah, because they come out claiming a staggering amount, something like 100 crore rupees.
Which is, let's be clear, a huge sum of money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the ED alleges this was undisclosed wealth, amassed over a decade, supposedly by the Communist Party of India, Marxist the CPM.
Mm-hmm. That's the allegation.
And this wasn't just cash sitting around, was it? The ED's claim is that this money fueled party activities.
Right. Land purchases, even funding election campaigns, apparently, all while, allegedly dodging tax rules and election commission scrutiny.
It paints a picture of like a hidden financial track running alongside the official one.
Exactly. So the million-dollar question, or rather the 100 crore rupee question is, how? How did this allegedly happen?
Well, the ED uses this analogy. They say the bank became a personal piggy bank.
Which is just, wow, a community resource allegedly treated as a private stash?
It's a fundamental betrayal, isn't it, if true?
Totally. And the alleged methods. Well, they're quite something. The ED's report to the Kerala High Court, this was dated April 11th, 2025, it lays out a scheme.
What kind of scheme?
Involving fraudulent loans being issued, secret bank accounts being operated. It doesn't sound like just sloppy bookkeeping.
No, it sounds calculated.
That's the allegation. And the report specifically points fingers at the CPM's Thrissur District Committee. Claims they held this unreported cash.
So, suggesting it wasn't just a couple of rogue individuals, but maybe more organized?
That seems to be the implication in the ED report. And the sources of this cash, it's allegedly a mix.
Like what?
Standard party levies, maybe election contributions, but also, and this is striking, commissions from illegally sanctioned loans.
Commissions. Like a kickback.
Sort of like a finder's fee, yeah. For arranging these questionable loans, that immediately rings alarm bells ethically and legally.
Okay, so you've got this alleged inflow of cash. How do you hide it? Especially that much money.
Well, the ED alleges a pretty sophisticated system, opening multiple bank accounts, then closing them, constantly moving the money.
To muddy the waters, make it hard to trace.
Precisely. A deliberate effort, they claim, to keep it off the radar of regulators. Classic money laundering techniques, essentially.
Given how serious this all sounds, it's no wonder the courts got involved.
Yeah.
That same day, April 11th, the Kerala High Court acted.
Yeah, they responded to a petition from a former bank employee, MV Suresh, and they ordered the crime branch to investigate everyone implicated in that ED report.
Everyone, so not just low-level people.
No, the order apparently included senior CPM leaders and bank officials. The message seemed to be, no one's exempt from scrutiny here.
That's significant.
Definitely. And the ED, in their report, they didn't pull any punches. They accused senior CPM figures of orchestrating a, quote, deep-rooted conspiracy.
A conspiracy to do what?
To defraud the bank, basically, and channel the illicit money back to the party for things like local expenses, buying land, funding elections. That's the ED's claim.
Wow. And a key point here, these accounts, these assets,
Hmm.
allegedly never showed up in the CPM's official financial filings.
That's what the ED says, not at any level, which, if true, is a huge potential violation of Election Commission rules, never mind transparency.
Absolutely. Financial declarations are fundamental.
Right. And the numbers the ED found, they reportedly uncovered 25 undisclosed bank accounts
20.
linked to 17 different CPM area committees just in Thrissur, holding, as of March 2023, about 1.73 crore in cash and almost 64 lakh in fixed deposits.
Okay, so specific numbers there, but the overall fraud estimate is much higher.
Yeah, the total estimate over that decade is pegged at over 100 crore rupees.
Let's dig into the loans themselves. How were these funds allegedly siphoned out? You mentioned benami loans.
Yes, that's a core part of it. Essentially, loans taken out using someone else's name, often without them even knowing.
That's terrifying. Imagine finding out you're on the hook for a loan you never took.
Exactly. People like TM Mukundan, their stories highlight the devastating personal impact. It's not just numbers, it's people's lives and credit being ruined.
Horrible. And there was more, wasn't there? Something about using the same property for multiple loans.
Allegedly, the bank issued multiple loans against the same collateral, the same piece of property, often without the owner's consent or even knowledge.
Yes, it's like selling your car multiple times over without telling the buyers.
Kind of, yeah. Or taking out several mortgages on one house without permission. It points to a complete breakdown of basic checks and balances, if true.
And specific people are being named in connection with this.
Yes, the former bank secretary, Sunil Kumar TR, reportedly told the ED he was pressured.
Pressured by whom?
He named prominent CPM leaders AC Moideen, Paloli Mohammed Kudi, P. Rajiv, alleging they pushed him to approve these dubious loans. He also mentioned using fake addresses to create memberships, making it easier to get these loans through the system.
So direct political pressure being alleged there.
That's the testimony reported by the ED. And then there's this other angle involving alleged loan sharks.
Loan sharks, how do they fit in?
The ED identified one, Satish Kumar, who supposedly ran a network. His agents allegedly targeted people already in debt, struggling financially.
Preying on vulnerable people.
That's the implication, luring them into this Karuvannur scheme. And significantly, the ED noted many of these loans were paid out in cash.
Ah, cash. Always harder to trace.
Makes it much more difficult to follow the money trail, yeah.
Okay, let's switch back to those hidden accounts. We heard about ARP Thambaran, a former local CPM secretary.
Right. He reportedly told the ED the party opened various accounts at the bank for, well, his words were different purposes.
Which sounds deliberately vague.
It does. And it clashes pretty starkly with the official records. The CPM's Thrissur District Committee, under Varghese, their audited statements apparently showed only 4 bank accounts and 4 fixed deposits.
But the ED found
25 accounts in total, allegedly. 5 at Karuvannur Bank itself, plus others. That's a massive discrepancy. It raises serious questions about what was actually reported versus what the ED claims existed.
And there was even an example of how the money was used, right? Something about land.
Yeah, apparently some of these allegedly illicit funds were used to buy a 10-cent plot in Thrissur, cost about 10 lakh rupees.
Yeah, what was the land for?
For a local CPM office, according to the reports.
So a tangible asset bought with allegedly questionable money.
And the ED acted on this. They'd already frozen assets worth over 29 crore rupees back in 2024. That included this specific plot of land and about 63 lakh rupees in deposits across 5 of those alleged secret accounts.
Okay, amidst all the politics and finance, the human cost. We touched on it, but it needs emphasis. Ordinary depositors.
It's devastating. People who trusted this local institution with their life savings. Now, many can't access their money.
Just imagine the anxiety, the hardship.
It's terrible. And while the bank has apparently recovered some money, I think the figures were around 125 crore recovered by December 2024 and maybe 135 crore returned to depositors.
That sounds positive, but
But the estimated total fraud is pegged way higher, around 343 crore, so there's still a massive hole.
a huge shortfall, meaning many people are likely still waiting, possibly unable to get their money back.
Exactly. It's a profound betrayal of trust for those communities who relied on the bank.
Now, predictably, the political fallout has been intense. The opposition parties.
Oh, they've definitely seized on the ED's findings. Accusations are flying that the CPM used the bank like its own personal ATM. V. Muralidharan from the opposition made some strong statements to that effect.
Understandable reaction, politically speaking. What about the CPM's response? Have they addressed these specific allegations?
Well, Their state secretary, M.V. Govindan, has reportedly said the party hasn't received any official notice about asset seizures.
So, kind of a denial, or at least claiming ignorance of official action.
That seems to be the initial public stance. It likely signals the start of a long legal and political fight as these investigations move forward.
And the investigations are moving forward. As of today, April 11th, 2025, the ED is still digging, and now the crime branch is officially involved too.
That's right. The crime branch has been tasked by the High Court to investigate everyone named in the ED report. So it's a two-pronged approach now.
Suggests they're really trying to get to the bottom of this.
Seems so. And we know the ED has already questioned some significant figures.
Who have they spoken to?
Senior CPM leaders like K. Radkrishnan, A.C. Moideen again, M.K. Cannon. These aren't small fish.
No, definitely not. Which leaves us with some really big questions still hanging, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Like, will they find more hidden accounts? Is there more money squirreled away?
And will the crime branch find enough concrete evidence to back up these serious allegations?
And maybe the most crucial question for those affected, will the depositors ever see their money again? All of it.
Those are the key uncertainties right now. The answers lie in these ongoing investigations.
You know, there's a real irony here when you step back.
How so?
Well, you have a political party that champions the working class, the common person.
Right.
Now embroiled in a scandal where the alleged victims are exactly those people, ordinary savers, members of the local community. It's a stark contrast, like finding a vegetarian running a butcher shop, almost.
Yeah, I see the contradiction. It really hits home the importance of accountability, doesn't it?
Hugely important. And the potential consequences when trust in financial institutions, even seemingly small local ones, gets shattered.
This whole Karuvannur situation, it might seem like a local story in Kerala, but it's a potent reminder.
A reminder about needing vigilance, needing transparency.
Exactly, in all financial dealings. Because
Right.
if this can happen in a community cooperative bank, it really makes you think about the checks and balances everywhere.
So the takeaway for listeners, this deep dive shows how even places you think are secure, like your local bank, can potentially be vulnerable.
And the fallout isn't just financial figures. It hits real people, real communities, hard. It shakes their faith in the system.
And maybe leaves us with this thought, if, as alleged, such a significant amount of hidden wealth could build up in one cooperative bank,
What else might be happening under the radar?
right, what other financial activities are going on undetected? And does it suggest weaknesses in the systems designed to prevent exactly this kind of thing?
Definitely food for thought. This Karuvannur Bank story is complex, multi-layered, and far from over.
We'd encourage everyone listening to follow the developments, but also maybe think about financial oversight and accountability closer to home.
Yeah. How are things monitored in your own community? It's a question worth asking.